My name is Teresa Lockwood. I reside in Vineland, New Jersey, and I'm going to read off a list of police officers in the United States who died of COVID-19. Now, I am living in the city of Vineland, New Jersey, and there are Vineland Police and their chaplains uh, of Calvary Chapel, and others, or who a majority of the Pentecostals, who call themselves Pentecostals, who are laughing COVID-19 off as a hoax. So, been encountering conversation and the mentality of the Pentecostal cult is actually very dangerous. It's also anti-law enforcement, and I'm talking about the Pentecostals who are violent police officers. Of course, they're throughout the police throughout the United States. Now, the thing is I've been in a conversation with a claimed atheist and a Pentecostal listening on the phone. And apparently, this Pentecostal, as I described different facts or situations, they're going to come up with, oh, well, we disagree. Based on what they do not know. Trying to present a knowledge to them instead of disagreeing. They do not have to disagree just because they are not not in agreement to something. So let me demonstrate how dangerous that mentality is. Okay. In regards to COVID-19, I basically did a lot of homework. I posted a lot of cases from children to adults, from police, corrections officers, um, you know, um, church leaders, um, who were dying all over the United States, and basically the records of, up to 2 million cases of having COVID 19, and about 10,000 have died. 10,000 is a lot of number. The thing is, people want to mock it, and make a comparison like, well, as people died of this, um, more people died from this, or more people died from that, or whatever. 10,000 people dying from a virus is a big deal, and a lot of people. So the arrogance and haughtiness that I've encountered, especially dealing with the chaplain whose own granddaughter, who's co-pastor, I do not consider them pastors at all. A blind guide who's just there and mocks and calls COVID-19 a hoax, while their own granddaughter, okay, I'm thinking under the age of 10, okay, had COVID-19. And while they were making a joke out of it in regards to, they don't wear masks, all these other things or whatever, and mocking those who basically came in and with masks or what have you, and basically, compared those with masks as people not of faith, and basically those who basically worship to, sacrifice to idols. This is what they did, presenting that they had this conscience, being conscientious towards others, calling those who wore the masks, pagans. Actually, the people who were wearing masks and considering such things are the ones who are conscientious. Okay, so they were trying to present that how conscientious they were, as they actually expose themselves as being just the opposite. So the thing is that the misleading of this chaplain, Franco Polito, who has made a mockery out of COVID-19, and their willful ignorance. Ignorance is not a sin. Willful ignorance is. to sit there and deny knowledge and the truth and keep attacking it. They keep attacking me for knowledge or whatever, and has even mocked me for my presenting post in regards to updates on COVID-19. The thing is so I'm in a conversation with Vineland Police, who the willful ignorance and disregard of the guidance that they think that police should follow from these chaplains, to sit there and just like, oh, it's a hoax, oh, the government made it. Now, this is what was said to me by a police officer claiming, oh, well, the government made it. Told me it was a hoax. They're like, oh, the government made it. Well, it doesn't matter who made it. That's irrelevant. It exists and people are dying. That's the most important part. Okay? And there are many precautions taken and laws made to hinder the spread of COVID-19. Those who mocked it and did not take it seriously and did not make much laws of it has more cases in their state or area of deaths of COVID-19 and the spread of it. Okay? So the thing is, in the conversation where police are being convinced that it's a hoax, basically misleads their thinking about it. This is a thing. And this is, yes, my spouse in my own household has basically also called it a hoax, laughed at it, or what have you, and I had to sit there and say to him, the thing is, you don't know. You don't have the knowledge. You cannot make a decision based on knowledge you do not have. Likewise with the police, who basically sit there and like, oh, well, I'm like, in regards to COVID-19, that thinking I presented, when they basically laughed COVID-19 as a hoax, I'm like, it is dangerous for police to say they don't agree, they disagree to something based on them not even having knowledge about it, obviously, and then disagreeing with it based on knowledge they do not know, endangering police. Okay? So the mentality thinking, the wrong thinking, that you're just going to disagree because you just want to be prejudically avoidant of something is ridiculous. And in regards to prejudice thinking, I was also questioned because they brought in Trump or whatever. I'm not a Trump supporter. I am a Republican government supporter. Okay? Yes, against democratic democracy, which is anti-constitutional. Okay? So, excuse me. The thing is, they brought up, because, it was Murphy who basically presented the laws. So, I brought up in regards to, I'm not going to sit there and not listen to Murphy because I do not like Murphy. That's not how I think. Okay? The thing is I hate regardless, even if they're sitting there and they want to use it as to attack Trump, which is what they were doing. Okay, distorting the facts and all these other things or whatever. Yes, I'm basically not happy with how Trump responded to it. Okay? In regards that, concerning Phil Murphy, he is administering information from factual evidence and data, scientific data, and the cases of lives lost. Okay, I've actually had somebody come on my page even mocking when I posted a little girl who was like 9-10 years old who died of COVID-19, and somebody clicked laughing at on my page. I'm like, I know you just did not do that because you're about to get blocked. Like, she died. This is real. So, the thing is in regards to my conversation in the Vineland Police Department, they want to laugh everything off based on what they do not know. not making any efforts to do homework, get the facts. They just want to sit there and listen to a one-sided news or what have you. This is the thing. I'm against a lot of left-wing media. I know a lot of it's propaganda, but I try to be discerning. And I know there's true news mixed in with it, and I know there's propaganda and there's false news. Okay? Just like it could be with any news, doesn't matter, regardless. Okay? But the thing is I'm not going to sit there and laugh something off as a joke when people are dying. Okay? I can't say that these people just ignored it and this is why they died, or any of these things. I don't know these people, but the reality is this list can be credible. Actually, that I get this list from a page that actually is not credible, very biased. Not in, it's actually considered a law enforcement page, but very biased toward police and favoritism toward police. So, um, it's so there's strength in it, and there's a lot of weaknesses, and there's falsehood in it. There's a lot of false articles I have read from them. So the thing is sorry, I didn't know my computer was like leaning into over me, my laptop. But the thing is that it is very dangerous thinking to sit there and just laugh it off and endanger everybody else based on you're going to actually walk in a zone that you do not know and pretend it's not happening. That can be used in a lot of principles in regards to not only COVID-19, but that's dangerous thinking for law enforcement. Okay, I can't get into things now, but I can make comparisons in regards to activities and what police have to take or whatever. But you can go in any situation, a dangerous situation, and if you sit there and say it's not real and then walk around in basically the place of not knowing and start making judgments based on that instead of rightful judgments based on the facts that are presented that can be considered and confirmed as concrete. Okay, you can't sit there like, oh, these people aren't dying. That's ridiculous. There's 2 children who have been recorded that I know so far that have died of COVID-19. There are people that sit there and like, okay, well, there's people who basically have been misdiagnosed with COVID-19 or whatever. Most likely. Regardless is people are dying of COVID-19. It doesn't eliminate that fact. So I'm just gonna read the list of the officers who died and their states. So my whole thing, my encounter with police, by the way, I actually made the rule of 8 feet when I had to encounter police. Let's say 8 feet away from me. I did do a lot of homework on COVID-19 and basically, why it was named and, and a lot of relations. I can't get into all that. I don't want to make it about that, but there's I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna get to the this. Excuse me. Okay. Alabama, Phoenix City Assistant Chief Gail Green Gilliam dies after contracting COVID-19. Sorry. Birmingham, University of Alabama Police Sergeant dies of COVID-19. Arizona, Chinle, I don't know how to say that, Chinle, that's the place. Navajo police officer Michael Lee dies due to coronavirus. Tucson, I remember hearing that name before, and I'm not sure that's the way to pronounce it. Tucson. Customs and Border Protection officer dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. California. I don't know how to say this name. Alameda County. Alameda County Sheriff's Deputy dies from COVID-19. Dublin Deputy Sheriff dies after contracting COVID-19. El Centro COVID claims beloved cop and coach. Fresno County, California detective dies after contracting COVID-19 on duty. Los Angeles, first LAPD officer dies of COVID-19. Los Angeles, second LAPD employee dies from COVID-19 virus. Richmond, California sergeant dies after contracting COVID-19 during call for service. Riverside, California deputy dies from COVID-19 complications. Riverside, California deputy dies from COVID-19. San Bernardino investigator dies after contracting COVID-19 during outbreak at hospital. Santa Rosa, California police officer dies of COVID-19. Colorado, El Paso County, Colorado deputy dies from COVID-19. Broward, Florida deputy dies of COVID-19. Broward County, Florida deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 on duty. Clermont, Florida officer who died of COVID-19 hailed as good cop and great man. Jacksonville, Florida, Leo dies after contracting COVID-19 from exposure on duty. Lake County, Florida deputy dies after testing positive for coronavirus. Lake County, Florida detention deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 amid detention center outbreak. Lauderhill police officer dies coronavirus related complications. Palm Beach County, Florida deputy dies from COVID-19 complications. Palm Beach County, Florida detention deputy dies after contracting COVID-19. Palm Beach County, Florida detention deputy dies after contracting COVID-19. Santa Rosa County detention deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 from county jail. Georgia. Hall County, Georgia Sheriff's deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 during exposure at jail. Harris County, Georgia deputy sheriff dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Richmond County, Georgia Sheriff's deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Rockdale County, Georgia deputy sheriff dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Illinois Cook County Sheriff's deputy dies of COVID-19. Melrose Park mourns loss of police officer who died from coronavirus. Chicago officer dies of COVID-19. Chicago officer dies from COVID-19. Chicago officer dies of COVID-19 complications. Louisiana, Angola master sergeant dies after contracting COVID-19 during outbreak at prison. Church Point, Louisiana captain dies after contracting COVID-19 at police department building. East Baton Rouge, Louisiana deputy dies from COVID-19. New Orleans deputy veteran supervisor at jail dies from coronavirus. New Orleans remembering Mark Hall Sr., a dedicated husband, father, and servant to New Orleans. New Orleans police officer dies from COVID-19. New Orleans officer dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Orleans Parish, second OPSO staff member dies from COVID-19. Orleans Parish, Louisiana deputy who died of COVID-19 remembered for kindness, politeness. Pearl River captain dies from contracting COVID-19 while on duty. I don't know how to say this, but Tangi Pahoa Parish, Louisiana deputy sheriff dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Vidalia, Louisiana officer dies of COVID-19. Massachusetts. Rutland Police detectives Johnny Songi loses battle with COVID-19. Boston, police officer dies from COVID-19 complications. Michigan. Detroit police who died of COVID-19 remembered as extraordinary leader. Detroit police 911 dispatcher dies of COVID-19. Wayne County, Michigan sheriff's commander dies of COVID-19. Flint, Michigan, neighborhood safety officer dies of COVID-19. City lowers flag to half staff. Mississippi. Edwards, sergeant dies after contracting COVID-19. Pike County, captain dies after contracting COVID-19. Nevada, Las Vegas metropolitan area, metropolitan police lieutenant dies from COVID-19. New Jersey, Patterson police officer, father of 2 children, dies from coronavirus. Glen Ridge, New Jersey officer with COVID-19 is town's first Leo death in 125 years. Newark, longtime Newark police officer dies from coronavirus. Bloomingdale, procession honors officer who died of coronavirus complications. Union City veteran, Union City police officer Alex Roberto dies from COVID-19 complications. Patterson police officer dies of coronavirus, marking department's first casualty from it. Bedminster Township, police sergeant dies of COVID-19. Newark, New Jersey officer dies from COVID-19 complications. Union City, New Jersey officer dies of COVID-19. New York, Troy police sergeant loses battle with coronavirus. New York City, NYPD coronavirus sick rate sinks to 13% on low. Department announces 31st death. Long Island, New Jersey sergeant dies of COVID-19 complications. New York City NYPD detective who survived 9/11 related cancer dies of COVID-19. New York City, three NYPD officers die of COVID-19 within hours of each other. New York City NYPD officers die of COVID-19 within I moved my page. I said that again. Hours of each other. New York City NYPD traffic enforcement agent dies of coronavirus. Yonkers police officer dies of coronavirus. New York City, 2 NYPD auxiliary officers die of COVID-19. New York City, 3 NYPD officers die of COVID-19. New York City, amid surge of coronavirus, police officers' deaths of 2 members of NYPD announced. New York City NYPD first active duty officer dies of coronavirus. New York City custodian is first NYPD member to die from COVID-19, deputy commissioner hospitalized. New York City NYPD chief of transportation dies of COVID-19. North Carolina, Montgomery County, North Carolina, deputy dies from COVID-19. Pennsylvania, Ambridge, Pennsylvania chief dies from COVID-19 complications. Philadelphia lieutenant dies from COVID-19. Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico sergeant dies after contracting COVID-19 on duty. South Carolina, Columbia police officer dies from coronavirus complications. Horry County SC corporal dies after contracting COVID-19. Tennessee, Morristown Police, a chaplain dies due to COVID-19 complications. Texas, Austin parole officer the fourth dies after contracting COVID-19. Baxter County, BSCO deputy dies of coronavirus complications. Baxter County Fire Marshal's Office director dies after contracting COVID-19. Brackettsville Border Patrol agent dies after contracting COVID-19. Corpus Christi Airport Public Safety Lieutenant dies after contracting COVID-19. Dumas Chief of Police dies after contracting COVID-19. Eagle Pass Border Patrol agent dies after contracting COVID-19. Eagle Pass Border Patrol officer dies after contracting COVID-19. Harris County Constable's deputy dies of COVID-19 after 2 months in hospital. Harris County investigator dies after contracting COVID-19. Harris County, Texas deputy dies after weeks-long battle with COVID-19. I don't know how to say this, but Hidalgo County Customs and Border Protection officer dies after contracting COVID-19. Lynn County Sheriff dies from COVID-19 complications. McAllen Station Border Patrol agent dies after contracting COVID-19. Mission, Texas cop dies after contracting COVID-19. Is presumed line of duty. Nueces County, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Texas deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. Tarrant County, Texas corporal dies after contracting COVID-19 at Correction Center. Travis County sergeant dies after contracting COVID-19 in the line of duty. Wayne County, Texas corrections deputy dies after contracting COVID-19 amid jail outbreak. Wisconsin, Dane County, Wisconsin deputy sheriff dies as a result contracting COVID-19. So, this was dated September 23rd, 2020, COVID-19 law enforcement deaths, posted by Police One. So, okay, Deputy Chief Billy Gold Feeder, I don't know how to say that, Gold Feeder, shared an update from the Public Safety Officers Benefits Program as to how COVID-19 deaths will be classified. So, that was like a note on there. This you want to mock that this is a hoax and by what you do not know, because you want to refuse and not face reality and make a joke out of it and mock it and mock the sufferings of others. Okay, that's sad. That is really, really sad. And you're just endangering other lives. Okay, and the ones who actually had the longer list was actually either, of course, very large, more larger states, or that of those who took it less seriously, and had later laws that put in place when people were, dying. This is not a joke. You don't sit there and ignore something because you're picking a side of, you believe in that person or you don't believe in that person or whatever. That's foolish. That is very, very foolish. I cannot stand Phil Murphy. I do believe that Phil Murphy is just as bad at supporting other things that are just as bad as COVID-19 and the destruction of this nation and Democratic Party. But I'm also going to listen to every wrong and every right that he has to say. And I'm going to be discerning, and you put a defense up and be defensive for protection, and you don't ignore everything as a whole, because that's foolish. Okay, and to pick and choose what you just want to like believe in, and you want to sit there and make judgments on an area of what you do not know, it makes you a worse of a person that you think that you're against or whatever. But you're going to put everybody else's lives in danger and basically ignore the lives that are around you because you think you're so invincible. You claim you have so much faith. Oh, you're fearless. This whole fear, I don't know one human being that is fearless. There is not one person on this earth that is fearless. That is arrogant thinking, and it is dangerous. Defense and caution, and taking protection even of things that you do not know about, and have no knowledge about. When an alert goes up, you don't sit there and like, oh, well, that's just a rumor, and that's just this. Well, you know what? Actually, police are not to ignore rumors, true or false. And that was like the brainwashing ideas that was trying to be circulated around in our county, and I had to say something about it. I don't listen to rumors. Yes, we are. And false rumors can be just as dangerous and deadly, and you have to be on defense about it. Impairing people's discernment and basically trying to mislead people based on what you do not know is not faith. It is not strength. It is none of those. It is foolishness. So I'm ending with that.